Dove into a chart that was humming like prophecy, only to realize it's mocking me. Breaking pattern symmetry, stretching out the misery, twisting every metric like a crooked epiphany. Price keeps slipping in a whispering spiral, tidal, suicidal. Every little bounce gets revised on arrival. Screens redraw futures like a glitch in revival. Candles doing backflips just to test my survival. I'm clinging to a stop lost, stitched with denial, feeling like a hostage in my own damn file. And the deeper I stare, the more the lines rearrange. Every signal I trust gets swapped out for strange. I'm running through this liquidation labyrinth, hollow and frantic, market speaking tongues, cryptic pedantic. This liquidation labyrinth tangles my will, turns calm into panic, then panic downhill. Every candle's a riddle designed to kill. Thought I mapped the trend, but the trend mapped me. Folded my logic like a cheap origami. Watched my PO crawl from a spark to a zombie. Profit evaporating like it owe no apology. Signals clash hard like feuding apostles. Indicators gaslighting with contradictory gospel. I try to climb out, but the chart's too hostile. A funhouse mirror making failure colossal. And I'm stuck in a loop where the loop ain't kind. Every breath I take is taxed by the grind. I'm running through this liquidation labyrinth, hollow and frantic, market speaking tongues, cryptic pedantic. This liquidation labyrinth tangles my will, turns calm into panic, then panic downhill. Every candle's a riddle designed to kill. This liquidation labyrinth, hollow and frantic, market speaking tongues, cryptic pedantic. This liquidation labyrinth tangles my will, turns calm into panic, then panic downhill. Every candle's a riddle designed to kill.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Hello, hello, hello. Are we live? I feel like I'm having some tech issues today where Restream is actually currently saying I'm not live on anything, but then just judging from the comments, everyone's like, why was he live and not live? So I'm having some sort of weird connection issue between my Restream and all the other places that I'm streaming to. Which is why I had to restart it today. But judging from the comments, it did go live. And looking at these videos, it did go live. So I guess, can I get a quick thumbs up? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you feel me? Am I in the room with you is really my major question right now. Yeah, you just left me. My apologies. I obviously that was not my goal, and I don't want you guys to feel abandoned. That is 100% not my goal. Dad, I can feel you. All right, I think we're live. I'm hoping, I'm praying that all the sizing on this video is proper. Actually, we're about to find out. You know what? Let me switch this up. Let me see if the sizing is where it needs to be. See, what is going on with that? See how it's like slightly off there? This is going to drive me absolutely nuts. Hang on. Let's go to this. Let me, we're going to edit this. Nope, we're not going to edit that. Edit, transform, fit to screen. All right. It looks like it's slightly off though. Full computer. All right, we're going to do this. Transform, fit to screen. All right, we're going to lock that one in. Even this, like, I feel like there's a little red, like a little black bar right there. I know it's small. Probably a lot of you can't even see it. probably you're like, why is this going to absolutely fit to screen? I did fit to screen. Why is it just slightly off like that? Unless it's not slightly off, and this is just now the way Streamlabs is showing things, like, is Streamlabs going to actually cause me to go nuts here? No, they're definitely, right? Am I losing my mind? There definitely is like a little black bar on the edge, right? Was this here yesterday? I'm going to lose my fucking mind, dude. I'm starting to wonder if these 4K screens were not the right screens and we're having some sort of compatibility issues. We're basically, I have 4K screens. That's what I'm looking at right now. And I wonder if the downsizing of the screens is causing some issues. That's going to drive me up a wall, dude. That's going to like make me lose my mind today. Golly. Yeah. All right. I guess we're going to have to deal with it today and just figure it out. Because it's on all of them, too. It's on all the corners, or on all the borders, I should say. All right. I might have to be returning these monitors and get better ones, because even certain things, like, please correct me if I'm wrong on this, but like, it feels like these numbers, the text and whatnot, is not as detailed as it was before. And I mean, I'm seeing these charts like in a very crisp manner, but like what it's showing me over here is not that crisp. Like, are you seeing all these numbers, these letters, especially the bars? Like, is it nice and crisp for you, or something like a little bit off? Because I guess like what I see physically for me is that it's like super clean and crisp and awesome. And then I am looking at what's going over here, and I guess I could always watch the stream back. What quality are we putting it out at? Yeah, we are putting it out at the higher quality. But you need more monitors. Looks good. The red numbers are a little cloud. That's what I'm saying. Like, something, it's just not exactly what it needs to be, you know? And that's what's bumming me out. Increase your bit rate. My bit rate's already at 12,000. My bit rate's pretty jacked up. Yeah. And then I'm even downsizing my output resolution. I have high FPS, stream. You can't change these settings when you're live. All right. I'm going to have to mess around with it, but I have to admit I really thought using these 4K monitors would be putting don't scale. See, I have to, because it's a 4K monitor. Like, we would be cooking right now otherwise. And that's why I almost wonder if I should go back to the 1440, the 2560 by 1440 monitors, get some of those and fine. 4K scaling sucks, get 2K. That's what I'm thinking right now. Mike, you and I are on the same page with this one. The 4K is nice for me to be able to read this stuff, but like, kind of what's the point if it's not coming through at the highest stream quality? Can you stream in 4K? Yeah, but a lot of people, like, they're not going to be consuming it at 4K anyway. I don't know what I know I'm doing 60 frames. I don't know what my refresh rate's at, which shouldn't be the biggest deal. We're not gaming here. Obviously, if we were playing like some form of like high-end action video game, yeah, that would be kind of important. Mac suck. I'm definitely not on a Mac. That would be crazy. Anyway, I'm going to figure this out. This is not a you problem. This is a Mateo problem. I'll solve it later. Let me get you guys ready for the market today. Potentially a turnaround Tuesday. If you don't know what a turnaround Tuesday is, it goes a little something like this. When the market drops in excess of 1%, the odds of the next day being green, especially if it's a Tuesday, are very, very high. So basically, the if and conditional statement goes something like this. If it's a Monday and the market drops in excess of 1%, the odds of a rebound the following day, aka Tuesday, obviously why we call it turnaround Tuesday, are very, very high. Is it a guarantee? No, it's about an 80% chance. But also to clarify, that's not necessarily commenting on the size of the green day. It's basically just saying we will close above the previous closing value. So if you close above it by a cent, that's still technically a win for a turnaround Tuesday. And there's other types of analysis you can do to get an understanding of how big that win might be. But yes, if you look at the fall off in the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and especially the Russell yesterday, all of those were down in excess of 1%, which means we're very much in play of turnaround Tuesday. Now, this time around, it might be a little bit sketchy just because if you looked at why the market fell off yesterday, yes, there's some apprehensions about what in the world's going on with this tariff stuff. There was a new article put out by Citron Research about the AI bubble and how it's going to pop. And then obviously we have the State of the Union address tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Once again, 9 p.m. like after the market closes and actually the futures market reopens. Trump will be speaking tonight. We're all waiting for NVIDIA's earnings tomorrow. So there are, and I guess you could argue that for any week of like, oh, there's special things to consider, but just generically, you should know that we are in the current mode of a potential turnaround Tuesday. Now, I guess maybe a reasonable question is, am I going to take it? Well, I'll take it if momentum's bullish. If I see the 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, 4-hour on ES and NQ all bullish, if I see the options flow going up, and if I see Icarus start to fire telling me to go bullish, if I have all those things, momentum, structure, options flow, and Icarus firing, I guess all four of those things, and maybe just a little bit of luck and vibe. And so we'll just make it one full hand here. If we have a little bit of a vibe as well, yeah, I'll take it. But I'm not necessarily beholden to it. I'm not just going to sit there and take it regardless of whatever is happening. Obviously, I still want to use all 5 of those other things. So I just wanted to put that out there. And actually, let me switch this up over to this. Stock futures tick higher after big sell-off due to worries over AI disruption and tariffs. So a lot of unknowns as it relates to the tariff development from Friday. If you missed it, the Supreme Court ruled Trump's tariffs via IEEPA to be illegal. And then obviously, he's already clapping back on various fronts. So we're going to go over that. And then the new AI disruption thing is basically the Citron Research article that came out yesterday, and it kind of just relates to, okay, maybe these AI plays are a little bit overhyped. I'm not necessarily saying I agree or disagree. I'm just kind of commenting on what in the world happened yesterday, because if you were paying attention to the market, we did take a pretty considerable hit. I know this looks like an easy thing to play, but obviously we watched it in real time. I personally feel like there was a lot of whipsaw out of the gate, and it was hard to catch it. In retrospect, this looks comically easy, but it's one of those things that like Monday morning quarterbacking is the easiest way to trade ever. So I just wanted to say, if you had a tough time catching this, I wouldn't be so harsh on yourself. Bitcoin down to sub 63, not so good. Even silver getting a little clocked this morning. So we already have quite a bit of movement, and I'm expecting quite a bit of craziness today. Not only do we have a bunch of negative gamma all the way down here, but stability is very low, 8%. And another crazy thing that I put into the Discord this morning is the minimal stability that we have is exclusively from 0 DTE positioning. So on the screen right now, you have the light pink line and the light blue line. And the light pink line is the gamma from the 0 DTE plays, while the blue line, that's like little light purple line, is all expirations put together. So if you look at that difference, it kind of gives you an idea of where the whole system's at and then where just today is at. And all the stability, remember, if it's on the top half here, that is positive gamma. All that stability, positive gamma, stability, it's only from 0 DTs. If you took this away, we're actually deeply negative. And obviously, we were also seeing that over right about here, where if we get going today, we could really get going today. So I just want to put that out there that similar to yesterday where we had large ranges where I suppose if you look at the 15-minute chart, it looks like an evidently bearish day. But then when you start to look at the actual point swings in ES and NQ and SPX and NDX and SPY and QQQ, they were large swings. So basically what I'm trying to say is don't be too hard on yourself if you found yourself getting knocked out because you were just sticking to your risk. But anyway, Supreme Court ruling throws Trump administration's tariff strategy into flux, what it means for global trade and the U.S. economy. So remember, Friday, we had the Supreme Court said that Trump initiating his tariffs via IEEPA, that specific act, is illegal. And then right away, Trump's 10% levy takes effect on U.S. rebuilds tariff wall. So right away, he clapped back. And then because of his clapback, other people started clapping back. EU warns that Trump's new tariff policy breaks the trade deal. And it wasn't just the EU. Beijing sees opening in U.S. trade war after court blunts Trump's tariff weapon. The Supreme Court's decision could give China leverage in coming summit. And once again, so we talked about EU, we talked about Beijing, China. It's not just there. I mean, even internally, Congress contemplates its role on tariffs after Supreme Court decision. Of course, Congress wants to pull in the power of the executive branch, especially now that it's like kind of Trump running the show. So right now, there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of uncertainty. And it's in those moments of noteworthy spikes in uncertainty where you can kind of get that craziness in the market. So this is all something you have to consider today and probably for the remainder of the week. But one thing is kind of certain. The odds of Trump's $2,000 tariff dividend checks are now effectively zero. So I know this is a thing that he ran on, and maybe he'll address it tonight in the State of the Union. But if you were holding out for that, if you were eyeing up a brand new monitor like I am, if you were waiting to, I don't know, if you already assigned that $2,000 to something, well, I wouldn't be holding your breath on it because I don't think it's going to be coming. Trump to sell the economy during State of the Union address. The president is expected to argue that the country is strong, prosperous, and respected as it enters its 250th year. Tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, Trump will be doing his State of the Union address. And before I show you some actual measures of the economy here, my question to you is, generically, as it relates only to the economy, I'm not talking to anything else, would you generically rate Trump and his administration's performance as thumbs up or thumbs down? Once again, we're not talking about any foreign stuff. We're not talking about immigration stuff. We're not talking about education, literally just the economy. Would you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down? I'm curious where your mindset is at before I actually show you true numbers of the economy. Thumbs up, thumbs down, Trump administration, and your personal perception of how they did with the economy. I'm seeing the economy is shit, thumbs up, double thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs down, flat, up, down, up, flat. All right, so mixed. Well, in a certain sense, I could tell you guys that you're kind of spot on with that opinion. Sizing up the U.S. economy in Trump's first year. So jobs, this is the darker zone is where Trump took over. Jobs started going up, then took a hit, and we're actually recovering a little bit. So they're slightly better off, but just barely. So jobs, just exclusively the jobs front, we do have a slight improvement there. Unemployment is actually higher than when he took office. I think this is a thing that really isn't discussed that much, but unemployment's been going up, and it's been going up in a clear way. Well, really, it's been going up since 2024, but yes, since Trump took over, employment is actually measurably up. Inflation is down, so that's a good thing. Not so good that unemployment's up, but it is a good thing that inflation is coming down. Now, this is one that I find really interesting, and this is maybe where I had my own perception because I hear Trump talk, and he always talks about how the prices of everything is falling. What's interesting is he always cites gasoline, and President Trump and the administration are right to cite the fact that, yes, gasoline is cheaper, but you know what's more expensive? Everything else. Coffee is more expensive. Ground beef is more expensive. Electricity is more expensive. So it's one of those things where it's kind of cherry picking certain data points. Yes, it is accurate to say that gasoline prices are down. That is good for anyone who has to buy gasoline. But it's not so good for people who have to buy electricity, coffee, and ground beef, and many, many other things. Wages, they are up. So technically, wages did decrease for the bottom 10% of the overall economy, but for everyone else, wages are up. So not so good if you're in the bottom 10%, but for every other bracket, wages are up. So a positive thing. Obviously, the stock market's up. When he took over, at first it took a big hit. Since then, it's been a pretty strong recovery. Economic growth, GDP is up. It's not up as much as it used to be, but sometimes you could argue with GDP, they play a little funny with how the numbers are measured. So, okay, that one we might want to put a pin in it. When he took over, the trade deficit was massive, and it's actually really, like clearly that is dropping. So depending on what side of, I guess, your own personal opinion you are with where the trade deficit should be at, the trade deficit is far, far less than it used to be. Manufacturing, for a long time there, it was contracting, but more recently, and it kind of takes this long for some of his tariff negotiations, trade war negotiations to really take effect. We are seeing an expanse in manufacturing, and I think we should all be a fan of that. If we keep going right here, housing affordability, not much change. So in the world of housing, it kind of bottomed out in 22, and we're not really going up. We're not really going down. So for those of you who are saying like flat, not really doing anything, we are flat in the world of housing. So it's interesting to me when I ask you guys, like, hey, are you bullish? Are you bearish? Like, how are you feeling about it with Trump's handling of the economy? And overall, you guys were kind of right, because we got a very mixed message, and that's exactly what's been going on. There obviously are points of success that I think should be highlighted, but then there's points that maybe aren't so good and maybe should be talked about, or maybe it's going to take longer for it to get fixed. But regardless, it's not all good. It's not all bad. Like many things in this life, the answer, at least based on the initial set of data, it is somewhere in between. So I just wanted to point that all out, especially because in about 12 hours, a little less than 12 hours, we are going to be getting that State of the Union address. Now, before then, I just want you to know consumer confidence is coming out at 10 a.m. So that's something that we might just be wanting to watch after the 30-minute Orbo. We're still in earnings season. Home Depot reported this morning. I'll be circling back to that after the market closes. AMC and Kava tomorrow, Hut 8, TJX, and the big one's obviously going to be NVIDIA. After the market closes tomorrow, Wednesday, the 25th, we're going to be hearing from the number one company in the world, and also obviously the bellwether, the barometer for what's happening in the AI trade. So NVIDIA after market closes tomorrow. As of now, the expected move is just below 6%. So we're talking billions of dollars of movement. So please keep that in mind. Salesforce, Snowflake, IONQ, later on, D-Wave, Celsius, Dell. I might be giving them more money. Duolingo, CoreWeave. So this is kind of it. This is not technically, but it's pretty much the end of earnings season. So after this, we're probably going to be getting a little bit of a breather. But circling back to Home Depot, Home Depot beats Wall Street's expectations even as sales decline. So Home Depot, as that article said, is actually looking pretty good. It's up 3% in pre-market trading. So I just wanted to call that out to everyone. Having a pretty solid day thus far. I have this in my long-term portfolio. I like it just as a company. I think it has a good balance sheet. I like its dividend. It's not something I actively trade, but I am happy that it's catching a bit of a base, like this weird double bottom here at 340. And I would love for this one to get ripping once again. But like I said, this is just kind of awkwardly in between, and we are basically just waiting for, I suppose, NVIDIA, those earnings. Well, Trump obviously tonight, but NVIDIA earnings tomorrow. Viral doomsday report lays bare Wall Street's deep anxiety about AI future. Citron Research thought experiment rattles investors already worry of the tech disruption. So this is kind of what hit the market yesterday, on top of like all the concerns about tariffs and whatnot. So Citron Research, feel free to read it. This is a pretty good article explaining it all. And I think tomorrow, Jensen, the CEO of NVIDIA, hopefully spend some time chit-chatting about it to give us an idea of what in the world is either happening or not happening. So yes, not only is obviously the State of the Union important today, the consumer confidence report, that's all important, but I have a feeling a lot of this is going to come down to how is the AI trade, and we're going to get a much better feeling of that tomorrow after the market closes. If you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter, mattkohrs.locals.com. It's 100% free. It's always been free, always will be free. I give you daily trading updates, but most importantly, every single Sunday, I give you a breakdown of what's going on in the market. Right here, a little bit of a write-up in the market, cheat sheet for all the earnings, cheat sheet for all the major macroeconomic events, and then most useful is the seasonality of each day. Now, this day is bearish in terms of over the past better part of 3 decades, 27 years. The Bulls and Bears both win it about 50% of the time. But as you can see, when the Bears win it, they do win it with greater size. So that's why, especially recently in the past 6-ish years, there's definitely been a little bit more of a bearish trend. Now, with that in mind, I'll be the first to tell you, this is not the most absurd bearish skew we've ever seen. And also, as I kind of started off today's show, don't forget that it is technically a turnaround Tuesday type of a day. So with me, as I kind of alluded to, I don't care where the trend is. I just want there to be a nice, clear-cut trend, whether to the upside or to the downside, and I want to play that. So that's my goal. I'm not necessarily in the bull camp or the bear camp. I already put it in the Discord this morning. I'm pretty neutral right now because there's a lot of information that I'm waiting for. I don't think the data set is necessarily compelling in terms of to be bullish or bearish, but what it is telling us is that we can really, really get moving in either direction. So just get ready for that. Just so you know, tomorrow is a bit more bullish. Thursday's leaning bearish, and Friday is also bearish. Actually, the bulls only win Friday to conclude this week 36% of the time. But like I said, that's all in the newsletter. Feel free to sign up. It is 100% free. All right, so the market's about to get going. So let me switch this up here. I'll go to the 1 minute. As we always do, these are my key levels of the day, as I literally every single day. Here, let me make it a little bit bigger just so you can see it. I always mark out the previous high, low, close, and that's exactly what I'm watching out of the gate. And on that note, dingity ding ding ding, the world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all, play responsibly, and if not, have fun. All right. So we're in the transition zone. I'm either looking for the breakout of 850 or the breakdown of 820. Let me make sure I marked out yes. Okay. So I did mark out on the NASDAQ the extended hours trading high and low. Those are always good levels to pay attention to. We have the daily chart right there. Momentum on the 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, and 4 hour is bearish. Momentum on the 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, and 4 hour is bearish. So out of the gate, the momentum is probably not what you want it to be. I do want, stability is dropping. It was 8% this morning. It is now down to 6%. We're at this positive gamma node at 840. Next one is 820. From there, you're talking about 6,800. So important levels to pay attention to. I know many of you come here and you want to know what the options flow is. Obviously, shout out to Spot Gamma. Let's get this rocking so you can see what we're doing with calls, what we're doing with puts. Let's just get ready on the day. Let's get ready. Let's get ready. I'm ready. All right, we're doing that. No clear flow quite yet. I showed you this, a bunch of negative gamma below. I would expect price to slow down in terms of its velocity at 6,880. Obviously, that's to the upside, and we have some positive gamma there. Other than that, whether we're going up or down, as long as we're not above that zone, I'm expecting some pretty clear, crazy movement. If you want to be trading with me, GoonieTrading.com. Don't forget, today's the last day of Apex's 90% off. This is dirt cheap to pass the evals today, and based on all this negative gamma I'm seeing, I think it's going to be relatively simple to pass those evals today. So final day, code Goonie, you're going to get 90% off. This is equal to the best deal that they run, so I just wanted to put that out there. It is your final day, 90% off with code Goonie. And with all that in mind, let's go to the 1 minute. Let's go to the 1 minute. Let's go to the 1 minute. What do you guys want up on the screens today? What are you guys paying attention to? The SPY is on the red side of life. The Qs are testing. Do you guys want Bitcoin up? Do you want silver up? Shout it out. Type it away. What are the main things you guys are watching? AMD. I'm seeing a lot of people comment AMD out of the gate. Up a nice 7.8%. Can someone help me out? What is the news on AMD? This is obviously not like just natural price movement. Something had to get going there. So can someone, you know what? We could probably literally just search AMD and figure it out right away. Breaking, Meta has agreed to a deal with AMD to buy over 100 billion worth of AI computing power and potentially 10% stake in the company. AMD is surging. Wow. How is Meta doing on the news? How is the market liking that Meta's getting involved in this one? Meta's actually down on it. So AMD was up 15%. It's up 8% right now. Meta is down on it, but it looks like we are getting the initial signs of a partnership between those players. The initial signs of a partnership. Interesting. Interessante, mi amigo. Let me switch this up so you guys can see this. I did take a trade in pre-market. I want to show you the trade that I took that just obviously did not work out too well for me. Right here, I was sitting here. I saw the market sell off. It came up into VWAP. I was trying to play for that VWAP rejection. I took a short. It started to break out. I got out and it clocked me. So that sucks because obviously at this point in time, I would be up a bunch of money. Let me show you what's going on. I think it was still a good decision because this easily could have just kept ripping. There's no saying it had to come back. It is unfortunate that I would be up I mean, I was short at 825 and I'd be up 100 points right now. So it sucks, but you know, it always comes back to risk management. So it's one of those, oh, like woulda, coulda, shoulda, but I don't mind that at all, because on the flip side, as much as this was vomiting this way, it easily could have been ripping the other way. So instead of taking a $600 loss, I'd be currently down 3K, and that would suck a lot more. So as much as like we've all been in those situations of like, shucks, like I really wish I held it. No, you have to stick to your trading plan. That is like honestly your only real option. Is if you're at your risk. I saw the technical breakout, I had to get out, because you never know how much it's going to keep going. Remember, as a trader, the only thing you're in control of is your risk. You really don't have much influence over what your reward's going to be. So please keep that in mind. So 4 minutes in, obviously market is already taking a hit out of the gate. How are we looking over here? Mag 7's actually kind of oddly flat. S&P 500 was flat, took a hit. Not much. Okay, we are coming up to my next level of 820, and then from there I'm looking at 6,800. I'm curious if we're going to just go right through this, or if we're going to have like a little bit of a bounce and a retest, and it's on that second test that maybe we get a bit of a trade idea. I do want to remind you, especially if you're joining right now, at 10 a.m., don't be surprised if we have a little bit of jostling for position if this ever loads. Come on. Today, consumer confidence coming out at 10 a.m. The forecast is for 87.4. I will obviously make sure our boy Rick Santilli is up in front and center. Oh, brother. I see a lot. If you're playing NQ right now, I see a lot of buyers at 24,700 flat. We're trading at 740. So down here, right at 700 flat, I see a lot of buyers. Like there's a big red bar there on the heat map for the book map. So definitely where most are currently structured. We have some sellers now at 755, kind of putting a ceiling, potentially overshooting this. Interesting. Okay. All right. Now that you guys have seen the opening, we're going for this one. I'll let you know if it completely fills them, but they're not moving it. They are keeping those orders there. Yeah, the 700 flat down here. And we're about to tag it. And we just ran through that. Jeez. Wow. All right. I guess it's going to be bounce right off of it, bounce off the key level. I assume that's also a bounce on SPX right off of 20. Okay, so we're at a key zone. And remember, I personally think it's pointless to make prediction off of key zones. You just want to identify where big money's at, and then obviously just go from there and see if you could play the trend from there. The lower risk, the better. And let's see. Okay, I hate that look on my... Hang on, I'm just fixing some of these. I'm really having some monitor issues today. All right, we're second test here at 700. Could be a W, could just be a dead cat bounce. So please pay close attention. Like I said, we're just at a key area. We're at 820 on SPX, which is a big gamma zone right here. It's the major positive gamma, and if it snaps, we're looking at 6,800. In terms of flow, the SPY's taking a bit of a hit. The Mag 7's going flat. I find this interesting. The Nasdaq is getting smoked this morning, and yet the Mag 7 is not showing that at all. The Nasdaq is also not really showing anything. So a little bit of interesting movement. Lisa Su she's on right now. That might be important to listen to. Lisa Su, who is the CEO of AMD, is chatting. She might be giving us some insights to AMD.
But it's a big deal, billions of dollars. We know that not that long ago, Corning announced a very big deal. Neither of those deals involved Meta taking a share in them. Why is Meta taking a share in you?
Well, here's the thing that's important about AI infrastructure, Jim. We are at a time and a place where the industry is moving so fast, and it's about how do we accelerate the rate and pace of innovation. And that's exactly what our strategic relationship with Meta is all about. We've been working really well together. Our teams are very much, working on sort of the future, but we wanted to take a big step function increase in that engagement. And, that's the beauty of this agreement that we're talking about. It is actually a win for AMD, it's a win for Meta, and it's a win for our shareholders in the sense that we're deploying at huge scale. I mean, 6 gigawatts is an incredible amount of compute. We are agreeing to optimize hardware, software, and systems together, and we're optimizing specifically for the most important AI workloads going forward. So I view this as, really tying the company strategically. And when you think about, there are very few companies that can actually invest at the scale that we're talking about. It's a great partnership.
Lisa, I wanted to follow up on that particular area in terms of the warrants here. It's 160 million shares of AMD common structured to vest again at specific milestones associated with, as you write in the release.
While NVIDIA's down.
The GPU
Look at that bounce right back to the
achieved.
closing value.
You had a similar deal with OpenAI when you announced that. It was also 160 million. And some of your shareholders, a couple of them I spoke to this morning, said that's
strong
20% of the company conceivably under warrant here.
Look at that. That's crazy.
Why are
we
you
ripped over
including these? I mean, you explained it to a
points
certain extent, but the cynics would say, well, you have
3
to
minutes.
because
That's
otherwise they're not going to buy
crazy.
your chips. How do you respond to that?
Oh, David, I would take a step back
That's
and say, look,
wild.
we are sizing this AI accelerator market at, $1 trillion over the next 5 years. It's a huge.
Is anyone
huge
going
market.
short at
And we're
VWAP?
actually
Are you
at an
going long?
inflection
I'm
point
curious.
Where, I'm a
How
big
are you guys
believer
playing
in there's
VWAP
no
here? Or is no one playing it
one-size-fits-all.
yet?
Frankly, you need a lot of different types of compute. AMD has all of the pieces. So we have CPUs, GPUs, we have the system infrastructure. And what we want to do is place
Anyone
bets
playing
on,
VWAP,
who we
waiting,
think are
long.
gonna
We
be
have
the
some
winners
longs at
in
VWAP. You're
AI
playing the VWAP
innovation going
recovery. I could
forward.
appreciate
So
that.
This is about strategic partnership. I think everything that we do when we look at the structures of this is to
4 more
ensure
minutes.
that
All right,
it's a
you're waiting for
win-win, so everything's
9:45. Made
performance-based.
60% off
There's
that
a
bounce. Hell
tremendous
yeah.
amount of revenue
Long,
coming
long,
into
nothing yet.
AMD.
Short. All right, so
Every gigawatt of compute
most of you are going
is,
long. There are some people
double-digit
waiting. There are
billions
some
of
people
revenue
short.
to us. And then when you
I have
think
to
about
say
all of the
I'm currently
ecosystem
pretty
value in
indecisive
terms
on
of
this one.
increasing,
Because
and
not only is that a
improving
big bounce,
our
but we
hardware
did
ecosystem,
recapture
our software
VWAP.
ecosystem, and it really accrues to every
And we're actually,
customer
all the
that
clouds are
uses
going
AMD.
back
So
bullish.
It is a special
I
time.
mean, this
it's a
blows my
special
mind.
place, and it's
Talk
an
about whipsaw.
opportunity, for us to
Bearish to
supersize
bullish,
what was
bearish to
already a
bullish,
fantastic
almost going bullish, and
But again,
huge bounce.
I guess just to back to the inclusion of the warrants is something that had to happen, or is part of the negotiation.
Bearish to bullish,
overall? Can you
bearish
sort
to
of just
bullish,
explain-
bearish to bullish.
Again, it's 20%
and the 4 hour is
potentially,
still bearish.
dilution. I know
But
the
like,
deal
look at
overall
just
may
that
end up being
recovery.
accretive,
So
but
not only is it
how do you
sizable,
explain it
but
to
I'm
your
saying like we're
shareholders
actually
in
getting on
terms
the
of why they
positive
should
side
look
of
at it as a
momentum,
positive,
and
the
we
inclusion
did
of the warrants?
also recapture
It is absolutely a
VWAP
win-win
here.
from our shareholder standpoint, because at the end of the day,
Wow.
what we have put
Look at that
out
distance,
is a
700
very,
to
very ambitious
870,
plan, a very ambitious financial
170
model.
point
And,
bounce.
what this is it
And that
really
happened from
is,
937 to
clearly an
942.
opportunity
It took
to expand
5 minutes
beyond
for us
what
to
a
go,
regular,
like, not only
commercial
that
deal
far
would
of
have been.
distance, but to
I
like
think, look, these
full
are
recover
special,
that. That's insane.
Arrangements. I would call this
Ridiculous.
one of the most transformational
What EMAs do you have?
deals for us as a
The 10, the 20,
company.
and the
We have
50.
a lot of other partnerships that are
Just the
also,
basic ones to get the
extremely
general
beneficial,
idea of the
and we
trends.
will
I don't think
continue
one
to
EMA is
expand
the end all be all.
AI capabilities that we have. But when you look at these opportunities, they're really like once in a generation opportunities to completely tie our roadmap to one of the leaders in the market.
I couldn't agree more, because you don't want them to walk away. You've got to make a long-term relationship. You already have that, but this means to me that tomorrow they're not going to say, you know what, it was
Dude,
really
look
great
at
to
that.
meet you, but
We
just
pierced
NVIDIA
the
just came up
overnight
with
session
this, and
low,
we gotta say
and in the
goodbye.
next
But on the
bar, we might
conference
be
call
going
to that
for
area, I
900,
respect
the
Jimmy,
overnight
thank
session
Merck
high.
analyst. He says, you're giving away $30
Turn
billion
around
roughly of
Tuesday,
value in
folks.
your stock.
This is
and in return,
crazy.
you're getting about $30 billion to $35 billion of net income. It seems like an even
And we're already up to
swap.
50 now. wow, we bounced off one key level and ripped to the next one.
The answer,
You expect
Jim,
this to
is
happen,
clearly
but
it's
not
much
as
bigger than
quickly
that.
as it
And
did.
we
Dude,
have the
820 to
opportunity
850 in a
align
couple
our
bars?
roadmaps over multiple generations. And when I
Wow.
go back to this is a
I knew something was
market.
weird
We
here
are
with
in
the
a
Mag
super
7
cycle
not
for
going.
AI.
Like
We
something
have,
just felt a
frankly,
little
great,
off on
great
that one.
partnerships. I think
And now the
Meta's
SPY
gonna
was
lead in
getting
this
hit.
space, and we
936.
absolutely want
We're
to partner
rippity
with leaders.
skippity doodah.
Frankly, we have a number of other partnerships. OpenAI is also a great partner as we look across the board. This is about making the right bets at the right time. So
Comeback Tuesday,
from
turnaround
an economic
Tuesday.
standpoint, it is absolutely
And this thing can
beneficial to our
push up to,
shareholders,
it looks like
and we look
there's,
at it as additive
is this a called
to,
debit spread
our
at 880?
strategy.
And then we're talking about
I agree with that. I
6,900.
do wanna
That's an
get a little
interesting zone.
existential.
Another 30
I don't mind
points.
doing that with you 'cause you're the slow
I like
person
it if
in
it can hold
industry.
50.
There's an outfit.
If it can hold
Citrini comes
50,
out with this
we might be
2028
cooking with
global
Crisco
intelligence
here.
crisis. I don't need to insult you. You've been in this industry forever, and this is a very, in some ways, flippant piece. But one of the themes is that the industrial revolution that Jens is talking about, that I know you believe in, the fourth industrial, is really going to wipe out jobs. And I really disagree with that, because I remember when the iPhone came out, who knew that 2 million people were going to have a job just doing apps?
Yeah, we're looking for the break of 900.
Industrial revolution and whether it will create
I mean,
more
look at
jobs
how
or it wipes
quickly that dip was bought.
Well,
Holy
I want to
cow.
be very clear, Jim. I think AI is absolutely the most transformational technology that we have seen, in our lifetime. It has the opportunity to transform every business, every operation, each of our lives.
Wow.
It's the way we experience healthcare.
Well, for
the
everyone
way
who
we
went long at
experience
VWAP,
education,
congrats
really the
to
way we
you,
live.
dude.
And
That
when
is
you
a
think about
gnarly
that, it
trade.
is about
You're long
how do
somewhere
we
between
use that
800 and
technology. So the idea that
825.
AI is
You're
gonna
already
replace
up
everything,
100
I am not a
points.
believer in
Dude,
that.
that is
I'm a believer
sick.
in AI is
Seriously,
gonna make
massive,
each of us
massive
better, and
congrats.
each of our businesses
Massive,
better. And we
massive.
might have
Let's,
to
how many,
refrain. We definitely
for those
have
of you
to
who've already
ensure
locked
that
in
we know
today,
how to
let's see,
use the
what are those
tools.
gains?
But we
Type them
have to
away. I'm
figure
just
out
curious.
how
It has to be
harness
thousands
the
of dollars
power
if you're
of the
playing
technology
NQ.
instead of being afraid of
I
the
mean, you just
technology.
made,
Although,
I'm sure
Lisa,
some
not
sick
to
fucking here bought it
belabor
at
this, but
700.
This is not an iPhone, right? This is a replacement
Seriously, dude, you
for
guys are
cognitive
crushing.
work. And wherever you're going to try to retrain, some argue, it's going for that area
Crushing.
too. I'm not sure I understand why it shouldn't disintermediate Amex and why it shouldn't
2K
crush
on 8
consumption
accounts.
if it really wipes out a lot of white-collar work.
4765
I don't see it that way,
bought
Carl.
at 724
I really see it
break
as
even
an opportunity for us to
450
take the technology
2.5
and
MNQ and you
rethink
made
how we use it,
4800
and rethink our
hell
business
yeah
processes.
dude.
Like I'll tell you,
Dude, I bet a lot
in
of
our world,
how many a
it's
better
all
question,
about how do we build
how
chips
many of you
faster?
passed the
This deal
evals
with
today?
Meta
Because
is
Apex
about
has the
a,
1 day pass
custom,
right now.
GPU
How many of you
optimized for
either
your
use
workload.
the down
We can
move
do
or the
that
up move?
faster and better because of the power of AI. But the fundamental
1.7K
technology has
only
to be
small
put
position,
together,
dude. That's not small.
overall. We have to
550
create
times
and
3
invent it, and
passed.
then AI
Hell
can
yeah,
help us make
dude.
it faster,
Massive
more
congrats
efficient,
to you
more
folks. That's
productive, more
sick.
cost-effective.
How long
That's
do you
so
think
cool.
we need to create and invent it before it can do it itself?
We are nowhere close to its inventing itself, Carl. I can tell you that. At the end of the day, there's a lot of secret sauce that you have to do for the first time, and then you have the opportunity to make it more capable going forward.
Lisa, you talk about Meta being a leader here. I'm just curious as to how you see that company evolving. We've talked a lot about the fact that it doesn't have a cloud business, for example, yet is spending the same amount in CapEx and is clearly already seeing a return on its ad business. I know a lot of this is for them to say, but I am curious as their partner how you see their business evolving.
Well, again, I would say that
I want to retest
Meta
at 900
have
and then
one
for
of the
that
most
to
ambitious
hold and then
visions
for it to
for,
bounce
how
to
they
65
see,
and then the breakout of
AI evolving
25,000.
over time. I think they are big believers in investment in the AI infrastructure. I think
as
we
of
are
now,
there
it
to
is
enable
not
it.
looking
But they're
back
also
in the
making
slightest.
bets of their own, and I view our partnership as one of those big bets that they're making. So this is really an opportunity. We're still so early in the cycle, David, that I think people are placing their bets on where they think they're going to see the most return on investment.
I mean,
And
based
I have
on
a
all the
lot of
people we
confidence
listen
in
to,
Mark and what Meta's doing.
she's definitely a better
really see
speaker
that
than
return
many.
at the end of the cycle.
When you say we're so early in the cycle, can you just put that in some
Wow,
perspective?
brutal downward fake out
Well,
for
we're
just
talking,
a
and, we were just
crazy
talking with
rip.
Carl about the fact that AI
And
is
I'm
getting
the
so
only
good, it can
schmuck
replace
here
us all.
down on the day.
Sitting on the inside, AI is good, but it is not like anywhere near its maturity in terms of capability. We're still learning a lot about how the technology works. We're learning a lot about how to
It
train
just
the
keeps
technology.
pumping.
We're learning a lot about how to use the technology. And so when I say we're early in the cycle, we're early in the cycle of seeing what the ultimate payoff
I just don't
can
even
be.
see the dip buy to get into. Maybe the pop on VWAP and this little retest right here, so somewhere between 8 and 830. But other than that, like the market has not looked back. I saw no dip to take advantage of.
5+ year roadmap because we
so
see
I can't be that angry just because
having more efficient, more capable infrastructure.
Even right there, that was at 941.
Lisa, when I listen
We
to you,
weren't
I'm
really
conscious of the
switched
fact that
over.
we will not
I don't know.
all be
As
replaced
strong
at
as
the
this
same
looks,
time.
I really don't know where I would have possibly gotten in.
Lisa Su is the chairman and CEO of AMD. And once again, for those who know the company, this is the greatest remarkable transformation I've ever seen. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
All right, how deep is this going to pull back? Are we pulling back to VWAP? Are we pulling back to the 50% range?
Tons of Fed speak this morning. By the way, Waller's on the tape right now.
Oh,
saying
Waller's
I'm not
talking.
a doom and gloomer about AI and that it's not going to replace all humans.
Well, there you go. You've got to put out a press
I feel
release
better
on
now.
that.
Yes,
Now,
exactly.
do you think he'll address the State of the Union, or say they'll look at the Supreme Court and say those
Right.
6 I can replace in a nanosecond with a, I don't know, with a meta?
Is this the
We could
pullback
have
to get
all
in
9
on?
seats. Some could be
It's really not
Anthropic,
that
some could be
deep.
OpenAI, some could be
Well,
Say,
Grok.
give me a dissent now and
Yeah.
then.
Not that
3
deep.
6 chip,
I
right?
like it. I like
Kohrs
it.
such
All
like
right,
that.
5
Give me
minute
the camera.
bullish,
I love the
10 minute bullish,
Anytime. Nice
30
gains here
minute
at the open.
bullish,
Dow's up
4
pretty
hours
good.
even
This-
pushing. 5 minute bullish, 10 minute bullish. Well, technically it closes in 15 seconds. 30 minute, same thing, but oh, brother, is it chasing? Is it chasing? I wouldn't mind a pullback right down to 900 and a bounce off of that. I just don't know if we're going to get it. We're seeing some clear strength right now. SPY's chilling a little bit, kind of going flat. The velocity, you could like, it's just slowing down a bit here, which, AMD actually losing a bit of it. It's still up percentage wise. It's still up nicely, but losing intraday some of its footing. Silver is just strong out of the gate again. There's just so many people are making so much money on silver right now. So many people, so much money. I guess at this point, I'm kind of forced to wait. I haven't had an opportunity to get in. I don't know. I don't think Icarus has even fired yet today. There's just too much mismatch, or there was, because we were pretty evidently bearish and then we went pretty evidently bullish. So that's kind of netting out now, at least through the eyes of Icarus, that we're not dominantly one way or the other. But I'm looking at this retest at 900. It might actually make a little bit more sense over here. Oh, okay, so what's this? The 900 retest is the 10-minute EMA on the 1 minute. So I'm curious if buyers are going to step in right there. Other than that, you have VWAP and the 50% retracement all the way down at 830. So somewhere between 900 and 830, which is unfortunately a very wide range. I'm wondering if we're going to bounce. It didn't actually hit it. It hit 910. Dude, I just don't know how much, if I really want to give it that much risk, because if I go long now and then I have to white knuckle it to VWAP, you're white knuckling it 100 points, which does not feel like good risk management. So I suppose if this goes, it might be leaving the station without your boy. I just don't want to take on that much risk. I don't want to take on that much risk. So we're going to have to be a little bit more calm, cool, collected. I do want to remind you, consumer confidence coming out in 7 minutes, 8 minutes. You know, I would probably take this long if this dip actually touched 900, but it didn't. It touched 911. It touched 911. Not to give any of you guys flashbacks or anything, but I don't like it. Smells funny. Smells funny to me. Am I going off of anything logical? No, I'm not. Mag 7's chilling. S&P 500 got a big flow alert, and it was at that flow alert that we stopped moving. So right here, calls were being bought, and then that flow alert actually stopped
Bitcoin
it.
Today actually fell below 63K this
So
morning.
just be
It's a
careful here,
62,590,
because the
not
options
quite to the
movement,
February 6th low. It is on pace, though,
it
for the
is
worst
different.
month since June of 22, down almost a third in a month's time.
just
We're back
respect
in a
your
minute.
risk. Respect your risk, team. All right, we are just trying to kill a little bit more time here. We have a couple minutes ago, a little trend line breakout, but it could be a little fake out breakout. What am I looking at? You know, if you're long right now, I know you don't want me to say this, but I actually wouldn't mind a like very short, rapid movement to VWAP where I could get long and then we pop off of that. Like I said, if you're long right now, you're like, dude, why in the world are you even putting that out? But at the end of the day, I would rather get in 100 points less than where we currently are. And maybe I'm going to be getting this opportunity. Oh, are we going for the VWAP retest? What's interesting about this level is it's not just VWAP, it's also the 50% of today's regular trading hour range. So I'm very, very interested in this level 8, I guess technically 30, we'll call it. But buyers might just be stepping in literally where they did right there at 900. They came in at 901. We'll see. If I had to guess, and remember, trading shouldn't be guessing, but just kind of talking about psychological levels, it feels like the bounce level, if it's going to bounce, would either be 900 or 830. Psychological level, people react to it. If you look at SPX, it would probably somewhat align with 850. And then other than that, it'd be like a little bit of a dip below. So patience. I do see sellers at 915 on NQ, so be a little mindful of that. Let me go to the 1 minute. But see how it's even retesting? It's not just a psychological level. This is a retest of the overnight session high. So it's an important technical level as well. And then it's aligning with some key stuff here on SPX. So a lot of things coming to fruition at this level. So patience. And honestly, it might be this 10 a.m. announcement that kind of either gets us going or smacks us. People are saying Apple. What's going on? Well, maybe I should type it properly. Apple. Oh, Apple's having a good day. 274. You know, I stopped really paying attention to Apple day over day since it broke my heart. But look at that recovery. Wow. All right. Looks like we are losing 900. And if it doesn't quickly recover, I'm watching this zone right here. VWAP, the 50% range, and it would also most likely align with SPX getting right back to 850. So a lot of things coming up. Calm, cool, collected. Let's just not freak out, people. We know what to do. Everyone stay calm. Everyone just like I think it. Here we go.
Kind of fascinated by
give us Rick. We don't want to listen to you guys.
Been a remarkable
give us Rick or give us death.
Period of underperformance. It's just
feels like we're coming to this zone at this point.
There's nothing Anthropic can do about it. Nothing. I mean, what are they going to do? Like come up with something to be able to help cattle? I don't know.
You have the 50 EMA on the 1 minute at 860, but once again, VWAP's down here at 830. It's also that 50% retracement.
Maybe you should do that.
Okay, I'll do that. Just get it.
Nothing could replace.
Here we go.
Scoop. Nothing. Never.
All right. Before we get there, who's buying at VWAP? Who's buying at VWAP? Who's selling at VWAP?
Was Scooby-Doo OpenAI?
Folks, speak up or forever hold your peace. You need to call it out before it happens or it doesn't count. If you're saying it afterwards, that's Monday morning quarterbacking. You have to cast your vote now. Are you buying or are you selling at VWAP or do you not give a shit? Depends on the numbers. That's fair. We are a little bit out. We have exactly 3 minutes. Buying, sell, buy, nothing, don't care. Buy. If it falls 20 points over VWAP, I'm selling. Buying on MNQ. Selling, depends on reaction. I don't give a fuck about VWAP. Hey, it takes all kinds to make this market work. It takes all kinds. All right, we're going to be finding out shortly. Wow, look at that rip. Just no look backs, no look-see backsies. Just 700 ripped to 964. Wow, dude. I mean, we predicted that there'd be large ranges today, but to get them out of the gate, like we were barely at the 10-minute orbo when that happened. That's just nuts. Absolutely nuts. All right. What levels do I care about? I care about the recapture of. I guess 920. I'm looking at like this support, resistance, like 900 to 920 is an interesting recapture level. I'm just drawing some lines, big lines guy. I never really got that far elsewhere in life. Just need to know red, green, and lines. All right. We got to zoom in, enhance. The 1 minute is coming down to its own 50 EMA breakdown. So this will be a little interesting. Of course, it could always be a little bit of an overshoot just to tap VWAP. So we're going to find out. We are 1 minute out, 70 seconds out. Hopefully they give us, Rick, consumer confidence coming out at 10 a.m. I wouldn't say this is like an end-all, be-all report, but it definitely in the short term can jostle the market. So it could be bullish, could be bearish. I'm not making a prediction. I'm just letting you know, don't be surprised if we see a spike in volume. To prove my point, I'll go to the 100, and we'll keep it on the 500 just so we don't get too degenerate in here today. But here, we'll throw this up. So you have a little bit of a trend line breakout. Obviously 900, I'll put this as the horizontal line, important recapture level. Look at that. Support, resistance, psychological level, overnight high. You have VWAP right here. So it feels like this 70-point region is pretty important between 830 and 900. Which one's going to break? Which one's going to hold? Obviously, that's all for NQ. Clearly, the equivalent level on SPX is 850. Just are we above or below? Even this SPX popped up. It went from bearish to bullish. Now we're just testing. So we are back at equilibrium. Maybe buyers step in. Maybe they don't. All I can tell you is this is a key level to pay attention to. All right.
Good Tuesday morning.
Just dropped.
Welcome to Squawk on the Street. I'm Sarah Eisen.
Muted reaction thus far.
Faber. We are live as always from Post 9 of the New York Stock Exchange. Coming up this hour, we're on Supreme Court watch again as we await a potential decision this hour on President Trump's ability to fire Fed Governor Lisa Cook.
No, they're deciding that today too.
Power. We'll bring you the headlines as soon as we get them. Plus, Senator Elizabeth Warren will be with us to talk tariffs, private credit, and a new push.
They're bringing Elizabeth Warren on? All right, we're back to VWAP.
Disruption fears continue to roll through parts of the market. We'll talk to AI expert Jeff Kittery from Sandbox.
Wow, dude. 700 to 960, back down to 830, all in the first half hour. Are you not entertained?
Yes, Conference Board, Richmond Fed, wholesale inventories. Let's start out with Conference Board. This is a February read, expecting 87.1. Our last read was really weak. Jump, 91.2.
Better than expected.
Big jump from 84.5, which
consumer
was
confidence
release.
higher than
that
expected.
Was the weakest since 2014, but that was upgraded to 89 even. 91.2 would be the best, well, going back to the end of last year before the bottom fell out. And if we look at what's going on from consumer confidence from the present situation standpoint, also a big beat. 120 would be the best level since December as well, when it was 123. Last month's 113, the weakest since 21, was upgraded to 121.8, which now changes the dynamic. 120 now is the weakest since last month's big upward revision. And finally, what may lie ahead? 72.0. That would be the strongest since the end of last year as well. The bottom dropped out on all three of these readings last month. The original reading, 65.1, was upgraded to 67.2. On Richmond manufacturing, minus 10. So that means we are now, 11 consecutive negative reads in a row. And if we look at the business confidence side, the service side, minus 10 as well. Minus 10 would be the weakest.
Big battle at VWAP right now. Big battle at the 50% retracement.
11 out of 12 were negative. Wholesale inventories up 0.2 as expected. Wholesale trade, our final number is 1%. That's well above expectations.
We went a little above, a little below, a little above.
On the trade side. Sarah, back to you.
Sarah, retested right
Thank
there.
you very much, Rick Santelli. Ahead of tonight's State of the Union address from the president, just wanted to take a look at the economic state of the union as consumers and everyday Americans are feeling it. You know, affordability has been a big theme. So let's take a look at some of the key charts since President Trump's second term. Mortgage rates, wanted to start there because actually there's a good story there for the Trump administration in terms of progress.
I'm taking a stab at it.
At the start of his term, we were seeing mortgage rates around 7% on the 30-year mortgage. Look where they are right now today. They're below 6%.
Taking a stab at it, we're going to see.
Time in years after his $200 billion
Remember,
mortgage bond
I have a 50-50 shot. Either the Bulls are stepping up and we bounce, or the Bears step up and I'm wrong. But even with the 50-50, it's all about the risk reward. If I'm wrong, I get knocked out at this low. If I'm right, I get to ride it all the way back up. So once again, it's a 50-50 game, but the risk reward is asymmetric.
And you can see
so with this type of reward, you really don't have to be right that often to be net profitable.
These elevated prices, remember they got, David,
but I am nervous that it just got rejected at 875 pretty swiftly.
The focus of the administration, obviously part of his overall attempts to get rates down have been very much focused on trying to get the mortgage rate
Where's
down
the bull camp? Turnaround Tuesday. We're looking for that turnaround Tuesday.
Yeah, and the average, new home buyer is 40 years old, and that's a problem. First-time home buyer, and that.
Come on, turnaround Tuesday.
Awareness of that. So that's one. Another one that he campaigned really
I'm gonna
hard
get
on
knocked
that
out.
affects your everyday affordability is gas prices. So I think we should look there.
Come on, bounce.
Actually, pretty substantially since President Trump took his second term, January 2025. Gas prices then were around $3.07 to $3.12 per gallon during that time, and now we've come back down to late February averages below
Not
$3
feeling so good.
$2.87 to $2.94 range. So again, they've come up a little bit lately to start
another
this
little
year
VWAP
weather,
retest. It's going to knock me.
Concerns around Iran.
We're getting
there's
too
market
close.
Prices here as well, but. He
Come on,
pushed
get
this
away.
one hard on
Get
the
away,
campaign
bounce.
trail.
Get away from me.
The question I always have, and this
Get
is
away.
for every president, and we know
Get
this.
away.
I'm following this so closely.
Get
really,
away.
How much impact do they
Go.
have? I mean, there's
No.
so many different
No.
things. It's a worldwide market.
Brother.
You point out Iran now.
Brother.
Prices
Stop
up a
this.
bit.
Get up
Production
there.
Here in the
Go.
US has not really
Get away
gone
from
up,
me.
despite his protestations.
Keep
that it
going.
should,
Yeah.
In part because
Yeah.
the price of the commodity has
Yeah,
not
that's right,
actually
brother.
gone up that high to
That's right. You better get away.
So the
Better
result
get away
being
from
that
my
putting
stuff.
capital in the
That's
ground
what I
is not
thought,
necessarily
NQ.
the best investment.
The answer,
That's what I
David, is
thought,
that presidents
NQ.
can claim it when it's a good
Get
story,
away
and
from
they
me.
can punt it when it's a bad story.
Brother,
And
coming
you're
at
right.
me with
Obviously,
that.
They are set off of global oil
Magnets,
prices, and there are
no,
a number of factors
we're
that
to
go
the
in it.
degenerate
But
point of
because he
threatening
campaigned
now.
on it,
Unfortunately,
that's why
that's how
we
much
can't
this
talk
trading
about it.
career has devolved. We're like literally, hey,
one of the tougher parts
what
of the
the
affordability
fuck?
agenda that I wanted to highlight were the grocery prices, because that's obviously a good share of the wallet. The crack there in the chart is the shutdown where we didn't get the data, but what you can see here is that
I'm risking
grocery
just below
prices are
VWAP.
still
I don't want to
rising.
risk much more than that.
This is food at home.
Not
in
good
CPI,
risk
and they
management.
generally increase
Come on,
during the
get the
Trump
fuck outta
second
here.
term. Look, you can break
At
it down
least
by
take
category,
out
but-
77.
And he can definitely claim
What did I
eggs
say?
have come down.
Come here.
Whether
Get
that's,
outta here.
Recovering from
Go
the
on,
bird
get.
flu impact or not.
Go
He
on,
claimed
get.
egg prices were out of control.
Hell yeah.
Milk prices, we did see a slight decrease.
Doggy.
But ground beef prices, coffee prices,
When in doubt,
orange juice
threaten
prices.
price
this is
action.
where I think that he's been more
That's what your
vulnerable on the
favorite
tariff
guru,
issue, because
furu
some of those
mentor
things,
won't tell you.
As we've had to import, prices have remained
Is if you
elevated.
want,
There's all sorts
all
of
you have to
supply
really
chain
do is
issues as
threaten
well,
it.
But this is
I know
one
people are going to talk
focus
about.
on going forward.
I know people are going to talk about VWAP and order flow and this, that, and fair value gap, like dumb shit. Real traders know it all comes down to who can actually threaten price. That's what you do. You saw it here real time. What else can I possibly explain to you? I explained what I was going to do. It happened in real time. Coincidence? I think not. This is how real traders do it, folks. I'm pulling back the curtain. I'm showing you the wizard behind the curtain. I'm taking you to Oz myself. You just have to threaten price action. You just get your most handy dandy box cutter from Target, which you had to use for all of your unpacking. It's actually a pretty good box cutter. Come on, get out of here. Get out of here. Fuck. That is getting hit pretty handedly. I hate how it distorts it. Hang on. Not good vibes. Not liking the red there, brother. Shit. I guess I didn't scare it enough. Are we really? Is that the fake bounce? Shit. We've seen this before, and it doesn't end too well. Come on. Please, VWAP bounce. What did I say? Get out of here. Folks, I feel like I'm the only one protecting VWAP right now, and it's not cool. You're leaving me out to dry. I feel like I'm doing all the work. How many more box cutters do I possibly need to protect VWAP? Please, for once, chat, I really ask anything from you, but could you guys just step it up for fucking once and help your boy out? I'm down on the day. At least help me get green. I'm the only one. How many times are you going to let it touch VWAP and fuck me over? For once, just help me out, chat. Fuck, chat.
Taken people out of the labor force, which
all right, she's getting boring.
Will tell you explains the lack of
I'm gonna.
right now. Wages have not been.
I want to know when Elizabeth Warren comes on because it's probably going to be hilarious.
Around from the Biden administration as well, where we saw pressure on wages. So. You can look at all the data, but overall, it's a pretty
internally laughing at the concept of some of you trying to explain to your like girlfriend that this is who you learn trading from. You're like, yeah, no, this is the guy.
It's been a good story.
This is the guy.
We'll see how he works that message tonight.
Knowing your luck, like this is the first time that she's like checking me out with you, and she's like, this is who you're learning from? Did he just threaten the stock market with a box cutter from Target? Has to probably be a weird thing for you. Like, I feel for you trying to explain this to your wife, your girlfriend, your girlfriend's boyfriend. Be like, yeah, this is the guy. This is the guy, hon. All right. Do we do stop to break even? We probably do on the break at 900. I'm a little, okay, we have to, right? All right, stops to break even, riskless trade. And we're not going to be greedy. See? That's a lack of greed. That's how much of a good human I am. Greedy people go for 25,000 flat. I go for 24,999.75 because I'm not greedy. And the market knows where I need it to go. Don't do it, market. Come on, bro. Stop it. Stop this. Stop this behavior. Stop this madness. Fuck. I could have got out green. I'm not risking anything. So honestly, my risk, like, I feel better about it because I'm just going to, at worst case situation, I'm going to end up where I was, but I just feel like the market's not really respecting me as a man with a box cutter right now, which is a little embarrassing. I feel like my ego's taking a hit. I feel like a little bit of my hubris is flaring up, and it's not working out too well for me. Not working out too well. These people are getting really, really boring. So can you guys just let me know when Elizabeth Warren comes on? If you're in the Discord, just tag me, or if you're in chat, just yell at me. I don't want to miss that, but just in the meantime, this is like, I don't know, kind of fucking boring. Just let me know, please, when Elizabeth Warren or when something of interest pops up. But I got to dial it in, you know? No more fucking around. This is a serious show for serious people. Serious show for serious people. Nope, I didn't want that one. That's the wrong emoji. I could have fucked everything up right there. What? Why did Siri just pick up? Siri, stop listening. Siri's trying to steal my trading strategies. All right. We have the uncomfortable penguin. We have, obviously, our magnet to help price. What's this? We're at 900. I really do need it to hold 900. We're going to make that a bit bigger because obviously bigger means stronger. And then projection. Here I am saying you can't predict the market, but what's this tool do? What the fuck is this for? in what universe are you supposed to use this tool? Can you give the fan to the penguin? Like, what? Seriously, like, I'm not even fucking around at this point. What is the point of this tool? To just give a penguin a fan? All right, well, the penguin now has a fan. We did that. What else can we do to support the market today? Shit, we're below 900. That can't be good. We got to act, and we got to act fast. Support. Got to put support in. Got to change the color. No. Uh-oh. Support's not holding. All right, we definitely don't need this. Uh-oh. Is it going? If it goes back to VWAP, I am SOL. I need to give him an igloo. Penguin is clearly not helping today. Well, that's a bit of a bummer. Might be coming right back to VWAP.
Stop, Phil.
Yeah. All right. I protected myself. I don't mind it. It's a bummer. The trend didn't keep going. That sucks for me. But hey, I stuck to my trading plan, and that's all I can possibly do. It's a freebie trade. Yeah, maybe it bounces back from here. Maybe like before, it's a bad knockout, and it's like it goes right back. But I can't behave like that because in some other alternate universe, and it might be this one, we go to VWAP, we crack it, and it keeps puking. I don't want to be involved in that. I don't want to be involved in that at all. So you have to, like, I promise you this, and I know I say this every single day, you have to handle your stop management with the assumption that it's going to go wrong. Yes, this might be yes, I understand that there's a 0% chance that this is just a high or low. It bounces and it rips. Okay, cool. I would have made money. But what's more mathematically detrimental to your account is actually, no, you hold on to it, like hoping that it goes in your favor, and then it comes to VWAP and you're like, okay, it's going to bounce. You're taking on more risks than you should, and then it actually cracks. Now here, there's like whatever, like it was a break-even trade. Yeah, I did have a losing trade from earlier today, but you can see I got out and I got in at the exact same price. So it's a bummer. But what's a bigger bummer is holding on to a trade that I know I shouldn't be in, and then it like just blows up my accounts. So don't take accountability. It's that stupid penguin's fault. That's how it feels. It's how it feels. But honestly, another thing here of why I don't mind getting out at break even is I'm looking at all the momentum, and it's not really evident of which side. Like it's trying to go bullish, but it's not convincingly doing shit right now. We're kind of just choppy sideways. So with like my goal is to ride whatever the trend is, and if by definition there's just not much of an evident trend, well, unfortunately there's not much that I could do. So I took a stab at it. I stuck to my trading plan. That's the name of the game, team. The name of the game. And guess what? I could always get back in. There's no pattern day trading. No pattern day trading whatsoever. Oh, if I go long here, 53. If I go long, I want to be in below 900. We might have to break out a bigger and a better box cutter. A little fake out action. What are we doing here? Little fake out action. Currently have no position. Thus far on the day, for those of you who are curious, I have one break-even trade and one losing trade. The break-even trade was the one you just saw from regular trading hours, and the losing trade was from an early pre-market attempt that clearly did not go my way. So thus far, I am, I guess, technically 0 for 2, I guess you could call it, because one was break-even, so it's not a winning trade. I guess it depends. Maybe I'm 0.5 for 2. I had a clear losing one and then a break-even, which is exactly that. It's break-even. Elizabeth Warren is on. Thank you.
Actually, you should go back and look at all of the studies around this. And what the economists are showing us is, of course it did. We know exactly how much money was collected. That's where you want to start this. And the average, look at the Joint Economic Council report on this, $1,700. Even the most conservative outlets have said maybe it's closer to $1,000. But the point is that no one is fighting over, is that the American family paid for Donald Trump's illegal tariffs. And when you take money from people illegally, you got to give it back.
I mean, functionally, that's actually not right.
The other argument is just it would be a very chaotic
inflation
process
is down
legally that could ultimately take
I don't want to
years.
be that guy bringing up like the actual stats,
they could just start cutting
inflation
checks
is down.
to American families. They could say, we're going to do it as best we can. We will divide it up and send it out. But it starts with a president of the United States and a secretary of the Treasury that acknowledge that the money was illegally taken away from American families, and it is their responsibility to work out a plan to give it back. Not to fight, to say, oh, I don't want to give you back the money that I have already taken from you. But instead, what Donald Trump and Secretary Bessent are doing is they're saying, gee, how can we find another way to take more money from American families? And this
but that's because tariffs themselves aren't illegal. Just the act that they use was. They're allowed to use a different act.
Families, what he's done is he's raised costs for them, and he's done it illegally.
I think they accept the
Order
Supreme Court
submitted.
ruling, and they just don't accept that American families have been paying it.
They accept it, but they don't want to give the money back. You know, that's not accepting it.
Well, the Supreme Court didn't discuss how to get it back, though.
What part of that are they having a problem with? When you take money illegally, give it back.
You know, they've also instead, as you noted, pivoted to other authorities. 122, Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974. They can use 232 of the Trade Expansion Act, Section 301 of the Trade Act of 1974. Do you expect legal challenges to these as well?
I do, but notice the overall move. The overall move is the Supreme Court said you took the money illegally. So their answer is not, we'll give it back. Their answer is, oh, let me find other ways to pick
but
the
once again, tariffs are not illegal.
That's the direction.
Is she being
Trump
intentionally obtuse
is
here?
Determined to go. Just
tariffs are not
more
illegal.
And more money out of the pockets of regular families, and that's why regular families across this country are pretty unhappy about the Trump economy and why Donald Trump is in so much trouble on economic issues.
I mean, I don't want to be, too defensive of tariffs here, but what the Trump administration would say is that they're looking for other mechanisms to do this because they have successfully negotiated
legal mechanisms.
A number of
Was
trade
the first
deals.
mechanism ruled to be illegal?
With trading partners
but that doesn't mean you can't go find a legal method.
Help raise revenues, to help fight our ballooning debt, and help give us more deals for investments into America for American manufacturing. Those are all things you can get behind.
So let's start out with the fact that from Trump's liberation
stops
day,
to break even.
We actually
get out of
received
here.
Trade
Get out of here, you
widen,
stupid price action.
not
Go.
narrow, but more
Get
to
out
the
of
point.
here.
We're supposed to be trying to run this economy, at least I think we should be, to help American families. And a chaotic trade policy that is tariffs are up, tariffs are down, tariffs are sideways, based on whether or not you're willing to do business with Trump cryptocurrency, or based on whether or not you had a nasty phone call with the President of the United States, that isn't helping our economy. It's not helping our small businesses, and it's costing American families money. That's documented.
It's costing
and what
them
Donald Trump
their
wants to
lives.
do is more of the same. And I think he's going to get the same response from American families. And that is, they don't like it, and they don't trust him with the economy, and they're right.
Speaking of phone calls, Senator, I think the last time we had you on, we talked about a phone call that you had with the president about caps on credit card APRs. Whatever happened with that?
Well,
Whatever happened
I
with
talked
that?
to the president. I then
What
got
happened
back.
with that?
I called Susie Wiles multiple times, sent texts, sent emails, sent my team over with a plan for exactly how to do that. And you will notice there is still no plan, no proposal from the White House to actually cap credit card interest rates at 10%. Nothing.
So what happens next? We just let it go?
Well, not for me.
Intraday high is 64,
on this.
75.
We already have legislation that's pending. But the point is, one more time, to say to Donald Trump, you don't just get to get out there and talk about how you're going to put a cap on
talk
credit
about it.
card
You got to
interest
be
rates.
about it.
You've actually got to deliver for the American people. He's been talking about capping credit
common
card
saying
interest
from Native
rates
Americans.
for well over a year. I know that. I've talked to him on the phone.
Which is why she knows
so
it.
far, nothing. Donald Trump may deliver for billionaires, but he sure as heck not delivering for American families. And, let me just put in a picture
billionaires
of
are
this
people,
and what
too.
it means to American families. A 10% cap on credit card interest rates for families that are carrying credit card balances would save them about $900 a year. That's overall $100 billion for families in the United States.
Stop being poor.
A good boost to the economy if we did that, and a lot of relief for families whose backs are against
65
the wall.
breakout, leading us to
Donald
880.
Trump, he'll deliver for the billionaires, give them great tax cuts.
880,
sure isn't delivering for
and then
American
6,900.
Well,
I'm watching
Senator
this positive
Dave, he may have
gamma
heard
node.
from a lot of industry executives who said, all right, well, we're just going to cut off credit to those people. And so therefore there's going to be less
IB high.
opportunity to spend at all, and that will be bad for the economy. That certainly was one criticism of it. I'm curious to get your response.
My stop's at break even at 884.
That is what the banks say every single time. But, let's just run the numbers on them here. What do the banks make on their lending? What's the return on assets?
$1 million.
1.5%, except on credit cards.
$1 million.
On credit cards, they make 6.8%. Last year, these credit card companies raked in $150 billion on credit card interest rates and more on all the auxiliary things they managed to do with credit cards. Then they turned around and pushed out the door $140 billion in stock buybacks and dividends. You cannot tell me that the banks that are the richest they have ever been cannot afford to cut interest rates down to 10%, and frankly, they'll still make money on it.
Is that true that they're the richest they've ever been?
The other policy that you agreed with lately, I wanted to talk about because you actually presented a new bill.
Is that like a factual statement, or is it just like a good sound
more
bite?
than 50 single-family homes.
I don't know if they are,
tax breaks and
especially
federal mortgage
inflation
programs.
adjusted.
Do you expect the administration to get on board with this too? I think it's similar to what
they're
he
the
proposed.
richest
I think
they've
it was
ever
100.
been. Well, that's funny.
Once again,
because
Donald
that's
Trump
not
has said he wants to
right.
get private equity out of the home owning market. And
So they're
boy,
down
I'm
from
all
their
in favor
peak,
of that.
and
In
when
fact,
you
Democrats
account it for, like,
have
when
a
you
well-thought-out
inflation adjust
plan
it,
to be
that's
able
even
to do
worse.
that.
So that's
a
just
plan
not
that would
true.
help first-time home buyers not have to compete against billionaires, and also would help renters so that the price of rent doesn't keep going up because private equity
Yeah, it feels
is
like that
coming
one
in,
was a little made up.
rolling up all the rental
Fact check
spaces
says
and
that
then
one's made
driving
up.
the cost of rent up. So we've
right,
got
we're
the
almost
plan.
at
We've written
IB,
it
the
out.
red
It's all
dash line,
there.
the
It's in the
high of the
statute.
day.
We are ready to go with it. And where is Donald Trump? Still talking, but no action.
Well, again, I mean, there has been pretty strong pushback from the investment community on this. And one of the arguments is that it would, it would starve much needed capital into these markets. Even Brookings did a study on this, looking at the impact of investors on rentals, and they didn't find much of a price difference in places where it was really concentrated.
So actually, I think what you want to do is you want to take a closer look at our bill. Because what our
Actually,
bill specifically says is that if the big investors want to add new supply, that is, they make a new investment.
Pocahontas needs to calm down.
To build more homes, in order to build more apartments.
You think we're going to get the breakout of 25,000?
They can still get their tax breaks. What this is about, what our bill is about, is when they come in and buy up existing homes, so that a first-time home buyer is competing with a billionaire investor who can offer all cash. Or so that what's happening to renters is instead of a lot of mom and pops competing with each other on rents, you've got one or two big private equity outfits that consolidate and start pushing the rents up. And look, this is a really serious problem in a lot of markets around the country, in places like Atlanta, Birmingham, where 1 out of 4 single-family residents is now owned by private equity. Homes.
That's not true.
That families should be able to.
1 out of 4 private residents owned by that is bullshit. There's no way. There is no fucking way that is true. 1 out of 4 private residents owned by private equity. There's no way that's true.
Think those concerns, what's happened to some of the valuations, even in crypto to some degree, is going to put a brake on efforts to broaden markets, allow people to put their 401ks into different instruments that many consider risky?
Look, that's really the question. You're asking the right question, and frankly, I think you're framing it the right way. Should people be putting their pension money into riskier and riskier assets? But my own view on that is no. There's a real problem with that. When you're putting away money for your retirement, when you're coming into retirement, you got to be able to count on that.
Fact check says,
and if that money
1%
really has the
or
problem
less,
as it does in private equity, that it's opaque, that you can't see where the risks are, or with private lending, that you can't tell how much.
How fucking nuts is that we just let these motherfuckers lie? Like literally, you could just say whatever you want as a politician, and people are like, "That's true." Like it's not even close. She said 1 in 4. It's 1%. Large institution investors, which include private equity firms, own a very small percentage of U.S. single-family homes, on the order of about 1% or less in the total stock. In some estimates, some institutional investors, large portfolios, roughly 0.5 to 1%. Of single-family rentals, it's 2 to 4. Like, literally, like, they're just legit allowed to lie. Like, just straight up fucking lie to our face. Key distinction, many statistics you see, like 27% of homes sold went to investors, reflect transaction activity, not cumulative ownership. So this is where she's getting it from. The long-term stock held by private equity remains a small slice of the overall. So she doesn't know basic fucking stats. Just does not know. The number that she is citing is here. It's transaction activity, not cumulative ownership. That's crazy to me. Like literally just allowed to fucking lie. Nuts. But
why is this somewhat, do you not think he's qualified?
Well, my concern is that Kevin Warsh has been his whole career being an inflation hawk. He is the guy.
Shut up, Elizabeth.
Even after the crash.
Shut up, Elizabeth. All right, we got to get this going. We got to pump it up. Pump it. Pump it. Pump it. Pump it.
Until he thinks he's got a shot.
Lizzie, Pocahontas, shut up.
Breaking pattern symmetry, stretching out the misery, twisting every metric like a crooked epiphany. Price keeps slipping in a whispering spiral, tired of suicidal. Every little bounce gets revived, arrival. Screens read our futures like a glitch in revival. Candles doing backflips just to test my survival. I'm clinging to a style lost stitch with denial, feeling like a hostage in my own damn fire.
Get out of here. Go.
The more the lines rearrange, every signal I trust gets swapped out for strange. I'm running through this liquidation labyrinth, hollow and frantic, market speaking songs, cryptic pedantic. This liquidation labyrinth tangles my will, turns calm into panic, then panic downhill. Every candle's a riddle designed to kill.
NASDAQ, we're going to have a serious problem if you don't hit my profit target right now. This is not a threat. This is a promise. I swear, we're not playing games today. We're not messing around. This isn't mess around Tuesday. This is hit my profit target Tuesday or else. Like, we're at the point, we're going to have a serious issue here. We're going to have some, I'm not trying to mess around with this baloney right now. No, none of this phony baloney. Go. We're going to have some problems. Listen, I'm not playing games today. This is serious business for serious people. Go. You better get going. You better fucking get going. Go. Not fucking around. Better say 25,040 or else. We're not playing a game right now. Dude, don't be a rejection at I. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Better not be a rejection at IB. Better not be a rejection at IB. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Come on, you son of a gun. You son of a gun. Get out of here. Better hold 25,000. What the fuck? Dude, come on, go. Where's our penguin? Where's our penguin, folks? We need to bring the penguin and the fan over, or it's not going to work. We don't need this anymore, obviously. Come on. Maybe we need a bigger magnet. We have the penguin. The penguin's color seems off. Penguins are obviously blue. I'm gonna do a giant yellow, golden one. Come on. That's what we're talking about. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about breaking above 24. Come on. We're stalled out at IB, folks. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Don't stall out here. Come on. Give us one more push. One more push. Go. Stop. Stop it. Stop it. Dobby. Get out of here. Come on. You got to hold 25. Hold 25,000 or you're a bitch. I guess you're a bitch. Hey, it's not me. I'm not the one who said it. I'm just saying. Those are the murmurs on the street that if you don't hold 25,000, Nasdaq, you're a bitch. I'm not calling it a bitch. I'm just saying that's what the rumors are saying about the situation. It's not me lobbing accusations. I'm just saying I'm letting the Nasdaq know what people are saying about it. And it's not pretty. Let's be honest here. It's not pretty of what they're saying. Just putting it out there. Pussy's hitting the bid. Just know right now, if you happen to be selling, that if you're not buying with me, I can only assume you're selling against me. Come on, you got it. Hey, see? Nasdaq, I know some harsh things were said about each other. Well, which way are you going to go? This is up to you. Nasdaq, this is up to you of how you want to behave today. It's the power of personal discipline, personal privilege. The Nasdaq gets to decide what kind of market it wants to be today. If it wants to go below 25,000 and be a bitch, hey, it has its own rights to do that. I'm just saying that if it does do that, it's a bitch. And hey, whatever it wants to do, it wants to do. Don't let me get in the way of it. I'm putting it out there. I'm just hitting you guys with some actual facts that it might be a giant bitch if it goes back below 25,000, at least before giving me my fill. And if it wants to do it, so be it. It's its own person. It's its own market. Oh, I closed early at 24,916. Well, maybe you have to do a little bit of a self-reflection on that one. Matt is going to cut his ear off. That's why I have headphones on for protection. This is a show about safety. This is an OSHA compliant show. I know that there's children who watch it, and because parents obviously want their kids watching a show with a good role model, that's why I have on ear protection, folks. There's nothing we care more about safety than safety in this show. Every single day, the team and I meet up and we just talk about safety procedures. It's just all safety, safety, safety. My middle name is Legally Careful. It's not legally careful. It's legally careful. It's all about safety in this show. That's all we care about. Nothing more, nothing less. Then don't swear. Fuck you. You're not my mom. My mom thinks that the word suck, sucks, or any variant sucked, all of that is a swear word. Fun fact, I got grounded once in high school because I said suck. And she's like, that's a swear word. And I knew I wasn't allowed to swear. I would get in trouble. And I was like, that's definitely not a fucking swear word. And I did actually, for real, I call my mom, ask her. I did get grounded for swearing, and the swear word was suck. I think I said, this sucks. And she's like, oh, don't you swear. Why do I believe this? It's a real fucking story. I'm not making that up. You can call my mom. All right, this is getting pain. Which way is it going to break? Which way are we going? The Nasdaq's being a bit of a bitch here. It's being a wee bit of a bitch. All right, you got to get going, brother. It's having a tough time at IB. ES is coming down a little bit. Where are we at? I even have the magnet and everything. What else can I do? I'm doing everything I know. This is everything my mentor taught me about trading, and it's not working. What else can I possibly do? Mag 7's actually looking pretty decent. Where are we? Well, on the positive side, on a bit of a positive note, I think Piper should fire somewhat soon. Yeah, Piper did fire. Did I do it right? Yes. Yes. All right. If you're in the Discord, Piper just fired. Gives you an idea of just momentum on the day. I didn't take a trade yet. Here's a look at the SPY. Here's a look at the Mag 7. We're getting into positive gamma. Stability is up to a whopping 16%. 6,900. Are we going to get there today? Are we going to get there today? We ran right into this. Look at this. Look how this played out. We dumped to the one key level, ripped, skipped one, went up to 65, found support at the next key level of 850, then ripped through one and ran right into the next one. Folks, these were all shown to you before the market even opened, and look at the reaction at all these key levels. This is why you have to pay attention to big money, because big money is what dictates what the hell happens or not. You got to pay attention to it. Look at how perfect all these are. 820, 865, 850, 880. From there, we're watching 65 and 50 to the downside. We're looking for the breakout of 880 to 6,900 to 6,916 up there. Let's zoom in and see if we can get an idea for any of these levels. I mean, it's just, we have a ton of positive gamma from 870 up to 910. That's a huge, we might actually just get absorbed into this and then just stick there for the rest of the day. That's definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility. Dude, this mag, what else can I do? I'm running out of ideas, folks. I'm running out of ideas. We haven't tried the rocket ship. Maybe the rocket ship is what we need. Dude, I'm pulling out all of my knowledge of emoji-based trading, and I don't even need it to go that much farther. I just needed to hit 25,040, which is just the high that we saw at market open yesterday. That's why I'm targeting that level. And for me, maybe it keeps going, maybe it doesn't, but that's a $3,100 return. I'm more than happy with that. I'm not complaining about that one at all. All right, I'm going to move this up. All right, so no matter what, I'm making 1.9K. You know what? Let's make that. Is it just going to like do that sweep out bullshit? All right, so I'm exactly 100 points in the money, which if it hits it, it hits it. I'd be bummed out after all this effort, but whatever. 100 points is a sick trade. I'm long at 884. Obviously, my stop's at 984. 100 points is a great day. So no matter what, I'm making 2K, or maybe I'll make an extra bonus like 55 points or something and just take it out at that level. Come on, go. Go, go, go. Go, 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 go. You got to go, brother. You got to do it. You got it. Go, go, go. This one's for America. This one's for America. Come on. I knew you weren't a bitch. All those people, all those salacious rumors, all those malicious lies, all those, I'm trying to think of another word that ends in ios. Malicious, seditious, trepidatious price movements. That doesn't really work for like the speech that I'm going for. What's another good iOS word? Malicious, seditious, treasonous commentary. That could work. That's a good one. That's a good one. The point is, NASDAQ, can I call you that? Is that they're all lies. They don't reflect reality. Delicious. So you think after saying malicious and seditious, the next word I wanted that would have made sense was delicious? You're like, yeah, he's looking for the word delicious in this particular speech. I feel like you guys, I appreciate the answer because technically you're right. You did answer my question directly. But I feel like you kind of missed the tone of what we were all going for. Pernicious, that's a good one. Fictitious, we could have probably made that work. Suspicious, we could have made that work. The point is, NASDAQ, we've been through a lot together. Son of a bitch. And it's going to be these 9 points that do me in. We ran to 31. It's going to be those 9 points. Come on, bounce off. Like just one God candle. God candle. Let's just rip it, brother. Let's just rip it right off of 25,000. The nice little EMA kiss, the bounce off of a key level. All right, we could work with this. We can work with this. Okay, so the 500 tick bounced off the 50 EMA, the 1 minute coming up on the 20 EMA. We did have a tough time getting above the initial balance, but we were trying to hold that key level of 25,000. Come on, you could hold it. That's still a nice higher low. We can work with this. We can work with this. We're not shit out of luck yet. Come on. Come on. You can do it, brother. You could do it, brother. Vexatious. That's a great word. We are ChatGPT. We are ChatGPT. Yeah, none of these were technically wrong. I think you just kind of missed the overall vibe of the assignment, which that's on me. When everyone in the class misses the vibe on the assignment, that's on the teacher. That's not on the students. So I take full blame. Fuck. I really need 25,000 to hold. It feels like if it snaps, it could easily snap these 16 points and knock me out, which I'm not complaining. That's 2K, so sick. Part of me wonders almost if I should front run it and go all the way up here. It's another 10 points, another 200 buckaroos. Come on. If it can just, I like to hold at 25,000, just get above IB and I'll feel more comfortable. You know what? How about this, NASDAQ? If you can hold above IB, I'll stop threatening you with a box cutter for the day. I feel like that's a very, very fair compromise. As long as you can hold above IB, no more box cutter threats for the remainder of the day. That's a fair, not all markets like to get threatened. I could understand how that's like taking it by surprise on this beautiful Tuesday. Yeah, just get up there. Just get above 14. Get above 15. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Wow, what a gentleman. Exactly, Chris. Big mistake. NASDAQ loves the risk. The NASDAQ's into it. It's like a kink. It's like, yeah, no. Break out that blade. I'm trying to be benevolent, and this is how the market treats me. No good deed goes unpunished. No good deed goes unpunished. What are we doing here? What in tarnation? Mag 7 is just flat. SPY popped. It's flat. It's attempting to hold. A lot of put selling. Not as much call buying as you would expect. The premium is already decayed quite a bit on the day. I don't even know if I could sell the premium I want to sell for Piper. It's like really, really low here. All right, we'll have to circle back to that. Fuck, dude, we are just having the worst time at 880, and we're having the worst time at 25,000. Oh, decisions. Do I want to cut bait? Do I just want to take this? Do I want to close it out? Good gain on the day. Or do I just want to give it a little bit more? Does it need time? Shit. So it just snapped this low. The recent low at 1046. I'm hoping it's a fake out. But we did pierce that, obviously below 20. But we got sucked right back up to 25,000. Oh, decisions. It's all just about risk at this point. This isn't even like really, for at this point in the trade, it's not even really a strategy decision. The risk is already greatly in the profit. It's more of like, this is kind of where the art meets the science of, we didn't hit that technical high. Obviously, we took out this key level of 25,000, which really at first, if you guys rewind in this stream, that was my initial profit target. So if I just take my profit here, this is kind of what I was looking at anyway, roughly. Obviously, I prefer that it ripped up to that high from yesterday, and it still might. It might just not be happening now because we're running into a lot of positive gamma. So like, this is, yeah, like I said, this is the point of luck. This is the point of like the art and just like the vibes of it all, because I've already managed my risk. I'm greatly in the money. I'm going to end green. It's just the question of how much green. And sometimes that's the market. Sometimes it gives you a lot and it just keeps ripping and you get your profit target. Sick. That's awesome. And then other times you get close, you get within 9 points, and it embarrasses you in front of all your digital internet friends and it knocks you out at your stop. That's how it's going to be. So we'll see. I mean, I have my stop in there. It's 100 points in the money. Like, this is a monster trade. Any day that you're making 100 points in NQ, it's a good day. So it's 2K in the worst case scenario. Best case scenario is 3K. So I'm either making 2 or I'm making 3. Those are the two options right now. I suppose I could get it out somewhere in the middle, but it does feel like it's about to knock me out. Well, it's just getting close, but I might get lucky at a save at 25,000. But even this, like, it's starting to push on these EMAs. It's just right there. It doesn't need to go much more, and it might be a little fake out breakdown, which is going to sweep me out. Which, once again, you're not in control of that. You have no control over that. It just sucks. It's getting really close. So, I guess my threats didn't happen. Cope. It's not cope. This is just what trading is. Not all markets, not all trading positions and setups are the exact same. And I think I've done a really, really good job of managing it. And I guess that's the beauty of trading, is we all have our own account and we could all do what we want. Oh, dude, this is getting real close to fucking knocking me. I would need a miracle turnaround, like, right here. Because if it sweeps this low at all, I'm fucked. I just arbitrarily picked this level, like literally just perfectly 100 points in the money. Wow. And that's all she wrote there, folks. Well, anyway, how many accounts did I trade? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 12. So 17 accounts, 1.3K each. So like about 20K. It got me. It got me. Of course, I could keep trading. I'm just happy to get green because my first trade of the day was a losing trade. So my first trade, which was pre-market, I was down 600. My second trade, where I was trying to go long, I got knocked out for break even. And then the market set back up, the exact same setup to go long again. And I caught that. And I made 100 points on it. So that's exactly how I'm net up 1,400. A losing trade is 600, a break-even trade, and then a gain of 2K. So it nets out to 1,400. Not a bad day. Not a bad day. To clarify, the take profits are all evals. So these only have 700 more to go. Oh, if I knew that, I would have stopped trading these today because I only needed them to go to 159. I thought they were all at 156. I didn't realize 2 of them were bigger. So I kind of misplayed that a little bit. The funded Lucids, I'm allowed to let them rip as much as I want. There's no consistency or anything like that. So obviously paying attention to those. The evals, I'm trying to get to 159. And then same, dude, I'm a little bummed. I really misplayed these 2 accounts right here. Because at one point they were 700 higher. I should have just turned those off because I hit the profit goal. The fact that I let it come back down, I made a mistake and I thought they were all at 156. But whatever. Like I said, there is a non-zero chance that this is just like a fake out sweep low. Like I was really watching this low here at 1036. That's what I was basing kind of everything off of. It swept it low. It knocked me out. A little recovery here. This thing could rip again. Obviously, it could also puke again. I have no idea. I'm just saying I had to do it just in case this puke right here did lead to an actual sell-off, and then all of a sudden I give back all my gains on it. So as a trader, I'm going to drill this into everyone's head. Your job is just your downside protection. And there was a chance on this breakdown that it keeps going and it completely fucks me up. I locked in a 100-point game, 2K. I had a $600 loss. That's not bad to make 20K in a day. Show me a person who's only upset that they made 20K in a day and I'll like show you a fucking sociopath. So I'm stoked with it. If I see another setup, yeah, I'll take it. I don't really feel the pressure to keep trading because I've already made 20,000 on the day. Obviously, I care most about these Lucid accounts. The LFF means Lucid Flex Funded. The LFE means Lucid Flex Eval. They're right now running a pretty good deal. But anyway, the funded ones are the ones that I'm trying to get payouts from. Apex cash out, not yet. I haven't heard anything. They're still reviewing all my trades and whatnot. It does take time. So I'll let you guys know as soon as I do. But I do want to let you know that with all this movement, today's a very easy day to pass the Apex evals because it's one of the few firms that you could do a one-day pass. And right now it's 90% off. In fact, this is the final day to take advantage of the 90% off. So 90% off with code Goonie, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. 90% off. The evals are dirt cheap. I do want to let you know that the 50K and the 150K are the most popular accounts, but obviously you should use what's best for you. And also on that note, I want to let you guys know that those soft breach rules, the contract scaling, the MAE, that type of stuff, as a company, they are taking it way, way more seriously. So please keep that in mind. Please, I beg of you, keep that in mind. And the best way, especially like the consistency rules, this, that. So basically pay attention to the consistency rules, the contract scaling, and especially the MAE. If you're having an issue with MAE, I found this out in my recent run with Apex. The easiest way to manage it is to create an ATM strategy. And then when you create it, you can auto set your stop to exactly right above where you violate the MAE rule. So you just don't violate it anymore. So the best way to do it, and then of course, make that your extreme, and then you could always move it up and adjust your risk accordingly. But I just wanted to share a little bit of how I found it, because on those previous accounts, when I first started trading them in October, I did break it and I realized I broke it. And that's why my first payout was denied. I made a whole video on it. And then from there, I was like, okay, so how do I avoid this going forward? And I just started trading with the ATM strategy, and it made my life that much easier. So I just want to call that out to everyone, that they're being a lot more serious, but hopefully you do have good success with these new accounts. 90% off, dirt cheap. Use that code Goonie. If you want to trade with me, GoonieTrading.com. It's in the description of the video. Looks like we're kind of getting a little bit of a rejection here, running into all this positive gamma. I'm going to be looking for a higher low to go long into, but if it never shows itself, well, I'm not going to be trading. So for right now, I haven't made any options trades yet on the day. Piper did fire. Everyone in the Discord knows that, but I haven't made any. If the setup is there, I might do it later on today. Other than that, you guys have seen my 3 trades: a losing trade, a break-even trade, a profitable trade, and obviously it all nets out to across all of these accounts, 17 accounts, about $20,000, probably even more. So that's kind of it. That's kind of where we're at. I do want to remind you that in terms of major macroeconomic events, nothing else is scheduled for today, but, and there's always a but, there is going to be a State of the Union address from Trump tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. So for all of my night owls who stay up far too late, if you want to watch that, is at 9 p.m. Eastern. So obviously if you're on the West Coast, that would be 6 p.m. So anyway, Trump, State of the Union commentary on the economy and all of that. So obviously worthwhile to pay attention to. Other than that, if you have any questions on anything, just reach out to me right here. Contact page, GoonieTrading.com. Come to contact. This comes directly to me, and I do my best to respond to everyone within a day, and most of the time I respond to you within a couple hours. So any questions, comments, or concerns, whether it's on Apex, sim-to-funded trading, on the Goonie Trading Discord, on Spot Gamma, on TradingView, on life, philosophy, religion, metaphysics, I don't know, string theory, right here, you can drop me an email, and I will do my best to get back to you in an expeditious manner. Folks, that's what I have. I appreciate all the good vibes. I'm sorry that the camera and all that stuff wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be, but 3-hour word salad. Well, salads are very healthy and they get you in shape, so you are welcome. Any hoozles, that's what I have for you. I appreciate all the good vibes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you make a shitload of money today. I hope you, whatever you're up right now, I hope you make even more. Be careful, respect your risk, pay attention to the Apex deal. Reach out to me if you need me. Other than that, I'm going to go hang out in the Discord, and I hope to see you there. Thanks for all the good vibes. Peace.
Order submitted.